Hello, all of my awesome Sunday school teachers and leaders. I hope you're nice and warm on this cold and rainy day in April. Oh my goodness. Thank you for loving these kids and pouring into them. I just encourage you to continue to reach out to these families. Quick phone calls. One of the fun things I used to do way back when I was a youth leader, and yes, I didn't have kids at that point, but it wasn't something I did all the time, but I would do it like once a semester. I would take and put some bags together with a Coke and a piece of candy and like a little sack of chips. And if you guys need supplies, you just let me know. And I put them in a little gift bag and I would just drop them on their porches and leave a little love note on it. Hey, love, Kathy Lovell. And it was to my girls that I was teaching in 7th and 8th grade. And I loved doing that. And those kids loved getting it. And so if you have a free moment where you can just do a little porch drop off or send them that postcard or send a text message, it impacts those kids and those families because they know they're loved. So I also want you guys to know you are incredibly loved. Ladies, this Saturday, I personally want to invite you to come to the Women's Spring Fellowship. I want you to come and sit with me at my table. If you are not registered to come, if you'll just send me a quick text, hey, Kathy, I would love to come. I will personally register you and I will pay for your way because this is our moment to get poured into. And this is just a great time for us to fellowship together, not work together where we're just pouring in, but we're getting poured into. So please, it's this Saturday from 9 to 11:30. And again, I would love to provide the way for you to get there. So it's going to be a fun time. We've got a great speaker. Her name is slipping my head right now, but she is the wife of she works at, her husband works for the SBC, and she's just an amazing speaker. And then we have our awesome Billy Kemp, who's going to be doing the worship. So it's going to be great. So on to our stuff for this Sunday. We are in a study for the next, it's a total of 6 weeks. It's called Puzzled. And it's about the life of Paul and how the early church was completely baffled by who this Jesus was and how people's lives were turned around. People were completely puzzled at this turnaround of Paul. And for our modern day, this is somebody like the Ayatollah that would be turning his life around and following Jesus. This was unheard of this leader following Jesus. So I just want you to imagine all of the wars, just imagine all the wars over there and one of those key leaders turning his life over. That's kind of the impact. So when Paul began following Jesus, everybody was puzzled. Now, what we're going to see is not everybody was happy that Paul is following after Jesus. And this week, his life was in danger. He's telling people about Jesus. He's learning about Jesus. He's putting together how the Old Testament and how Jesus fulfilled the Old Testament, and those leaders are not liking it. And so much so that his life is in danger. Now, this again is one of those little pieces that just blows my mind. They put him in a basket and then they lower him down out of the city. What kind of a basket is able to lower a grown man? I can't imagine. So my brain is all these whirling things what could you do with 5th and 6th graders? This would be so fun to have some kind of something where they have to lift. I don't know, but it has to be appropriate but oh my goodness. A man was lowered in a basket. That's just kind of crazy. So, but he kept on telling people about Jesus. It didn't stop him. And so, another really great point of encouragement that we're going to see in some of these activities is how do we help these kids learn to tell about Jesus? So the first small group activity is called Show and Tell. And so the first thing that they want you to do is ask the kids, I want you to think of a friend or a family member that doesn't know about Jesus. So get that person's name in your mind and then think about how you could show them the love of Jesus. How could you show Jesus's love to that person? And when they're ready, you go around the circle and ask them the name of the person and how are they going to show love to Jesus or tell them about Jesus. And that's just a really great way for kids to stop and think, everybody in my world doesn't believe about Jesus. And some of these kids like may not have parents who believe in Jesus. It's weighty sometimes when you hear that these kids are coming alone and they don't have the support of parents backing up their faith. We have to be those people behind them cheering their faith on. So help them to think, how can I be showing the love of Jesus to someone who doesn't believe like I do? Okay, the next one is helping about their Bible memory verse. So our Bible memory verse this week is from Acts chapter 1, verse 8. But then you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. Then you will tell people about me from one end of the earth and to the other. Acts 1:8. So they're going to play a game. You're going to divide them into two teams. Okay, they're going to play rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And whoever wins, they get to go to the other team and take away part of their memory verse. So you're going to then go to the next people, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And then whoever wins, they get to go take part of their memory verse. And so it's going over that memory verse and going over that memory verse. And then eventually whichever team has memory verse left, they win. And the other team that loses all their memory verse, they don't win. Okay, this is a cute one, and it kind of goes with the first idea. They're going to have a piece of paper, and this is what the paper looks like, and it says God's hand. And we're going to have them trace their hand, and I'm going to just trace very roughly my hand. And what we want them to do, when the kids are finished, they're going to trace their hand on the paper. At the top, we've got God's hand. For younger kids, we may have to help them with spelling. We want them to put something into God's hand, meaning that you'll trust him to help you with it and stop worrying or feeling guilty about it. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a situation, maybe it is that person that needs to hear about Jesus. So what is that person? What is that you're going to put into God's hand? So that's just a fun little activity. And then it's a great opportunity to stop and pray with these kids. Like, teach these kids how to pray. Like, from little bitty ones all the way up. Help encourage them a sentence prayer. I love popcorn prayers. I love where we all take an opportunity to stop and pray. Even if they're just saying, God, please help me. God, thank you for today. I don't care what it is, but it's helping them verbalize. A great opportunity for our older kids. Ask them, how would you explain your faith? And it's really great if you even pair them up, like, and especially this is important, friend to friend. So if you know, like, two kids really get along, this is that perfect time to pair them up because they're going to feel more comfortable sharing their faith. So ask them, I want you to tell this person about what you believe in Jesus. If you were to explain your faith in God to somebody, how would you do that? The 3 circles is a great way. If you Google or go to YouTube and put the 3 circles, salvation, like, you will see great videos. And you can literally tell somebody in 60 seconds or less, the plan of salvation. It's amazing. So all that to say, we've got some really great opportunities this week, to love on these kids Sunday, to pour into these kids, and even to pour into you. I just am so thankful for all of you guys. I'm so thankful. Thank you for loving Parkside. Thank you for loving God. Thank you for loving these kids. And I will see you Sunday. Bye.